Okay, so today's chapter name is composition of matter. Okay, composition of matter. Now in the previous lesson we have studied that what is matter. Okay, so I would like to ask you one question, that what are the various states of matter? The various states of matter are, there are three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gaseous. These are the three states of matter. The next question, water is a very good example which can be obtained in all the three states. Okay, so water can be obtained in the liquid form, in the solid form you can get ice, and the vapor form you can get gaseous. Okay, so ice is a good example, which is the mixture of solid, liquid and gaseous form. So first of all, let's start with matter. So what is a matter? Matter is a substance that occupies space and has some volume. Okay, then the smallest part of the matter is called as atom. Okay, what does the smallest part of the matter is called? It is called as atom. Okay, so now here you can see in this that the physical state of matter consists of three states, that is solid, liquid and gaseous. Okay, here you can see in solid states the particles are very close to each other, whereas in liquid the particles are little bit far, and in the gaseous the particles are very far from each other. You can see this. So let's explain this activity in the uh, detail. An intermolecular force attraction acts between the particles of the matter. Okay, what happens in the solid? What happens in the solid? The intermolecular force of attraction acts between the particle of the matter. So what happens? The extent of the particle movement is determined by the strength of this force. So in this particle strength. Okay, that movement is having strength. The particles of the solids are very close to each other. Now only we saw the figure in which we have seen that in solid shape the particles are very close to each other. They vibrate at their fixed position. Vibrate means they move at their fixed position. So what property does the solid has? From this we can understand that the solid has the property of definite shape, volume, as well as it is having high density and non-compressibility. Now, what is the meaning of high density? High density means compactness, and non-compressibility means uh, the pressure is remained reduced position. Okay, the size does not change. Okay, this was about the solid. Okay, once again I will show you the slide. Here you can see the particles, they are very closely related to each other, and you can see that the molecules are very having too much of strength, and this they are holding each other, as well as their force which is created by them creates strength in between them. Okay, so the solid substance gains the property of having definite shape and definite volume. Even it is having the property of high density and non-compressibility. Okay, now the second figure, that is about the liquid state. Now in the liquid state the strength of the intermolecular force is moderate in the liquid state. Here you can see the solid particles, they vibrate at their fixed position and they can move. But in liquid, the strength of the intermolecular force is moderate in the liquid. So they are not strong enough. So the liquid particles are not strong enough to hold anything, but they can have a definite position. Okay, in liquid the strength of the molecular force is moderate. Okay, and what is about the strength? It is not having strength, enough strength. to fix the particle in definite position. Means here you can see the property of solid says that they are having definite shape and definite volume, but here they are not stable, so they cannot obtain the definite position or shape, we can say. But these particles can hold them together. They are strong enough to hold the atoms in the liquid state together. Okay, so liquid is having definite volume. Okay, what does the liquid have? The liquid is having definite volume. As you know that the liquid is fluid, having the liquid is having the property of fluidity. Okay, fluidity means what? uh, it can change the shape according to the container. If I take the water in a glass, the water will take the shape of that glass. If I take the water in the tub, so it will take the shape of that tub. So the water is a fluid, having the property of fluidity. So it is having a definite volume, and uh, their shape is not definite. Shape is not definite. It changes its shape according to the shape of the container. Okay, this was about liquid. Then the third, the intermolecular force in the gaseous is very weak. Okay, as you know, the constituent particles of the gas are freely moving because they are having occupying available all the available space. Now you can see that there are air is a homogeneous mixture of different types of gases. So the constituent particles of the gases move freely, and they occupy the space wherever they are available. Where the space is available, they occupy that space. Okay, so the gaseous does not have neither definite shape nor definite volume. Okay, so this was about the solid, liquid, and gaseous state. Now, as I told you, what is matter? Matter is a substance which has mass and occupies space. Then what are atoms? The atoms are the smallest particles of an chemical element that can exist. So smallest particle of matter, we can say that is atom. Okay. Then what is molecule? These are formed by the chemical combination of atoms. When two different atoms saying that is called as molecules. Okay. Now here we can see that the matter is divided into two types. Now what are the two types? Substance and mixture. And the substance is divided into elements and subdivided into elements and compound. And mixture is subdivided into homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Okay. So what is substance? Substance is the matter that is either an element or a compound. So substance can be either an element or a compound. Okay. The substance can be made up of compound. Then all the matters are made up of atoms. As we all know that the matter is made up of atoms. Then what are elements? When all the atoms in the matter are same, that time we can they are called as elements. Okay, as you know, in the periodic table there are 118 elements. Okay, so these are the elements which are there in the periodic table. For example, carbon and oxygen. Okay, and the carbon and oxygen are the elements, and these elements have the symbol by capital. We can denote the carbon as capital C, and we can denote the oxygen by capital O. These are the symbol of the elements. Okay, the smallest particle of an identical atoms. For example, each molecule of oxygen has two oxygen atoms bonded together. Okay, now oxygen is having how many atoms? Two atoms. So both the atoms are joined together. Okay, and the smallest part of the compound are formed by joining two or more types of atoms together. Okay, in elements and in elements in elements and compound, what happens? The elements, the molecules of the element or compound contains same atom, whereas in a compound, the smallest particles of the compound are having are joined by the two or more particles. For example, water. In water, how many hydrogen bonds are there? There are two hydrogen bonds in water and one oxygen bond in water. So when these hydrogen, two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen is added, that time we get a new compound that is called as water. Okay, so the mixture of two atoms is known as a compound. Okay, then here we have the main constituents of the molecules of the mixture. Now, for example, this is the example of mixture. Now, as you know that the air is a homogeneous mixture. In air, different types of gases are present. For example, nitrogen, oxygen, argon, hydrogen, carbon. So, different types of gases are gas are present in air. Okay, these different constituents are present in air. So we can say that air is a homogeneous mixture. Okay, then similarly we can have the mixture of different utensils, different the alloys. For example, copper, zinc, boron, copper and tin elements. For example, we are having the utensils for cooking food, that is also the mixture of metals. Okay, now types of element. What are the types of elements? Elements have different physical properties like luster, paleness, malleability and brittleness. Okay, luster means softness, paleness means light in color, malleability means it can change the shape, brittleness it can break. Okay, the element is having different physical properties such as luster, paleness, malleability and brittleness. So luster's meaning is it is soft, paleness means it is light in color, and malleability means it can change its shape. Okay, and brittleness means it can break also. Okay, so according to this, the elements are classified in the earlier times into two types, that is metals and non-metals. But after there was the invention of new element that is known as metalloid was discovered. So our next chapter is metals and non-metals. In that lesson, we are going to metals and metalloids in detail. Of compound. What are types of compound? On heating, the strong compounds gives residue or any blackish residue remains back, that is carbon. For example, when you heat sugar, what will happen? What will happen when the sugar is heated? It will turn black, and whatever the thing or residue is remained at the back, that is nothing but carbon. Even salt also, when you heat the salt, what will happen? Whatever compounds are there in present in the salt, that will get evaporated, and whatever residue is remained behind, that is nothing but carbon. Okay, when the compounds are strongly heated in air, the combination of oxygen to form the gaseous substance. As you know, oxygen helps for burning. It is a good combustion. Okay, in this case, there is combustion and is not completed. That means the burning process of the any substance, if it is not completed and the thing is not burned properly, and whatever the things that are remained behind, these compounds are called as organic compounds of the or carbon compound. So whatever blackish thing after burning is not burned completely, and whatever unwanted things or blackish things are remained behind, that are the organic compounds or carbon compounds. Okay. Now here are compounds. So compounds are the matter that is made up of two or more combined elements. So what are compounds? Compounds are made up of two or more combined elements. Now here we can combine two elements, for example, carbon and oxygen. So carbon and oxygen when combined together, it can form as carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. Okay. So it comes when the matter that is made up of two or more combined elements, that time what is formed, the compound is formed. The compound looks different than the elements that make them. So whatever the compounds are, they look different from the elements. They are not looking similar to the elements. Here hydrogen is one element and oxygen is one element. When they are coming together, a new compound is formed, that is water. Carbon and oxygen, when they come together, they form carbon dioxide. Okay. And this is the sugar. When carbon, hydrogen and oxygen come together, they form a glucose. Okay. I hope till here the doubts are clear. Then on the other hand, the compounds which decomposes on the strong heating to leave the residue behind, these are called as inorganic compounds. So what are the we have studied about the compounds. In compounds we have studied about organic compounds and inorganic compounds. Okay. The common salt, rust, blue vitriol, limestone are the inorganic compounds. In addition, one more type of, these are the examples. I told you the example of the common salt. When the common salt is heated, what will happen? Whatever things are present in it, that all the elements will be evaporated, and whatever things is remained behind, that is remained black color residue is remained. That is nothing but inorganic compounds. Okay. So additional to organic compounds and inorganic compounds, what is there present? There is one more compound present, that is complex compound. Now what is complex compound? The molecules of the compound that have a complex structure formed by the atoms, and the structure metals atoms are also included. That means in these molecules, along with the atoms, metals are also included in the center of the atom. For example, chlorophyll that contains magnesium, hemoglobin that consists of iron, cyanocobalamin, vitamin B12 that contains cobalt are the examples of the complex compounds. So in complex compound, what is formed? Many different atoms are formed, and these atoms, along with the structure of metal atoms in the center, they include the metal structure atoms also in the compound. Okay, so these are called as complex structure. So what are the examples of complex structure? Hemoglobin, chlorophyll. These are the examples of the complex compound. Now types of phases. The matter, the part of the matter having uniform composition is called as phase. For example, the matter, whichever matter you are taking, that matter should have uniform composition. Means, for example, all the things should be soluble in it in a correct form. So that is called as phase. When all the components of the mixture are formed in one phase, it is called as homogeneous mixture. For example, when your mother is making tea, what first she takes? She takes water, then she adds tea powder, then she adds sugar, and she keeps for boiling. And what does she do? She filters the mixture and takes. So all these ingredients, they are uniformly mixed with each other and forms the homogeneous mixture. So the homogeneous mixture is the, here you can have the example of the tea. Okay. When the components of the mixture are distributed into two or more phases, it is called heterogeneous mixture. Now, when the components of the mixture are not are distributed into two or more phases, means they are not uniformly mixed with each other. Okay, that time we can say the heterogeneous mixture. We will take the same example of the tea. Okay, when your mother is not filtering the tea and she is giving that tea directly to you, so will you drink that tea? No, you will not drink because it is not filtered properly. If it is filtered, that time the mixture is known as homogeneous mixture. And if it is not filtered, it is known as heterogeneous mixture, because you are able to see that the composition in the mixture is not uniform. Okay, they are forming a layer in the mixture. If she gives the without boiling, she mixes the water, sugar and tea powder and give to you, so that is the heterogeneous mixture, because it is not uniformly mixed with each other. So this is the difference between the homogeneous mixture and the heterogeneous mixture. So in a heterogeneous mixture, you can have example of salad. So when your mother is making salad, what happens? She mix the different vegetables together and makes a homogeneous mixture of it. Even bale is the example. In bale also you can add different vegetables, you add different ingredients to make the bale tasty. So that is also a heterogeneous mixture. Then mixture is, what is a mixture? The material that is made up of two or more substances that can be separated physically. Okay, you can physically separate. Okay, the mixture that is made by two or more substance that can be separated. For example, if I take different types of dry fruit, so if I mix all the dry fruits together, so what will happen? I can I can separate the mixture and make it into the different forms. So the material that is made up of two or more substances that can be separated physically, means physically I can separate all the different things into different containers. I can keep even the pulses. Sometimes what happens, your mother is making all the pulses together and she's making one vegetable, one curry vegetable. So what happens? That time what she does, she makes a mixture of all the grains and she cooks together, and that is a mixture. But when the grains are not cooked, you can separate them physically. So that is the example of the mixture. Then there are two types of mixture, that is heterogeneous mixture and homogeneous mixture. So in heterogeneous mixture, the mixture that is unevenly mixed, you can see the stuff in the mixture, that is called as heterogeneous mixture. So here you can see the stuff is not mixed properly. The pani puri water that you are eating, mixing while eating the pani puri, that is also a heterogeneous mixture, because it is not mixed evenly. Here also you can see the proportion, it is not mixed properly, it is uneven, you can see. Then homogeneous mixture, the mixture that is evenly, uniformly mixed, is called as homogeneous mixture. For example, tea. I told you, when your mother is making the tea and when she filters and gives you all the mixture that are uniformly or evenly mixed with it properly, and one mixture has been created, that mixture is known as homogeneous mixture. Okay, then solution. In this solution, we have studied in the 7th standard that in water, if we add some salt, what will happen? The salt will dissolve. And if we add sugar, sugar also dissolves. But the salt dissolves quickly, and the sugar takes some time to dissolve. Okay, and the mixture whichever is obtained after adding solute and solvent is known as solution. Is known as solution. Okay. The component of the solution in which is present in large quantity is known as solvent. For example, in the solution, whatever quantity is present in large proportion, that is called as a solvent. And if the proportion is less, so that will be called as solute. For example, if you are making a lemon sherbet, so the quantity of uh, solute, that is lemon juice and salt, is very less. You are adding sugar in more quantity, so sugar will be the solvent and solute will be the salt and the lemon juice, and whatever mixture will happen, that will be the solution. The process of formation of a solution by mixing all this solute and solvent is known as dissolution. Okay, so the solution can be of liquid or liquid, gaseous in gas in gas, solid in solid, or gas in solid. So let's see what are the examples. Liquid in liquid mixture solution. So you have the example of vinegar, dilute sulfuric acid in the example of solution, that is liquid in liquid. What examples are given? Vinegar and dilute sulfuric acid. Then gas in gas, what examples are given? Air is the good example because air is a homogeneous mixture. So you can find in air many different types of gases. For example, solid and solid. So here you can have the example of alloys like brass, steel, stainless steel. Okay. Then comes gas in liquid. So here are the examples: chlorinated water. So water which comes as a drinking water to your house, that is first chlorinated and then it comes. So chlorinated chlorinated water is the example of the gas in liquid. Hydrochloric acid is also the example in gas in liquid. Okay, the heterogeneous mixture of the liquid and the solid is called as a suspension. Now the diameter of the solid particle suspension is larger than 10 to 4 micron. So you can imagine how big the solid particles can be in the heterogeneous mixture. It can be in the liquid form or it can be in the solid form. The light cannot be transmitted through it. In this type of heterogeneous mixture, the light does not cannot be transferred from other. So let's see what is suspension. Suspension means the heterogeneous mixture that contains liquid where visible particles settle. Means here in this liquid you can see that the visible particles are settling down at the bottom. Okay, here you can see in this test tube, you can see the things here settled down. Here blood also and milk also. These are the examples of the suspension. Then colloid. Milk is a very good example of the colloid mixture. The mixture of the water and milk in the, for example, milk. Now milk is the process in which you can see the milk. You cannot see when there is a milk in the glass, you cannot see transparent from the other side. Why? Because it is the mixture which is very continuously filled in the means all the ingredients in the milk are in the same proportion. Okay, so you cannot see the mixture, uneven mixture in it. Okay. So here you can see tiny particles of the milk phase in the heterogeneous mixture are disappeared when in the water phase. Now here you can see that if water is added in the milk, so what will happen? You will not see the milk tiny particles in the milk because of excess of water in the milk. And if the drop of milk is observed, you can see there are some tiny particles of the milk phase obtained on the heterogeneous mixture. Okay. Now, as the pores of the ordinary filter paper, the larger the colloid, the heterogeneous mixture cannot be separated in the filtration. Means in this type of filtration where two liquids are mixed together, In this mixture, we cannot separate the milk and water differently. Okay, so the milk is the example of the colloid. So what is colloid? The colloid is a heterogeneous mixture that never settles. Means here you cannot see the settling of the milk. For example, if I take a glass of water, in that water, if I add 1 spoon of mud in it and I continuously stir, what you will see? You will see that some particles are not settled down. Okay, afterwards, after few 5 minutes, what you will see? You will see that the mud particles have settled down at the bottom. But when you stir the milk also, you cannot see that the mixture is never settles down. Means in milk, the mixture does not settles down. So in the milk, there is a uniform mixture. Okay, milk itself is a colloid. In it, solid particles of proteins and fats are present. So what is present in milk? Proteins and fats are present in milk. And what does the sweetness causes in milk? So in milk, lactose is present. Because of that, the milk is sweet in taste. Okay. So in cow's milk, you get 4 to 6 micron of fats, while as in buffalo you get 6 to 9 micron of uh, fats in the milk. So milk is itself a colloid, and it is having proteins and fats, and whatever the sweetness occurs in the milk, that is due to the that is due to the that is due to the lactose. Okay, so that is important. Okay, so next is molecular formula. This I will show in the activity. uh, uh, yes, students.